July 3rd. Just normal run-of-the-mill day, right?
Yep.
Wrong. July 3rd has very special meaning to me because that was the day I was born. The day of July 3rd also has incredible significance in history. I found that July 3rd has a very large effect on how the world and country we live in today was shaped with the effects of early U.S. history, politics, and pop culture. As I go through my speech and say important events that happened on my birthday throughout history, I hope that you'll see how special July 3rd truly is. First, we'll start with some very important events in the United States history. Number 1, Revolutionary War. So on July 3rd, 1775, George Washington took command of the Continental Army in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The Continental Army consisted of soldiers from all of the 13 original colonies/states. Number 2, Battle of Gettysburg. The three-day long battle during the American Civil War was fought between the Union and the Confederacy, in and around the town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It was thought to be one of the bloodiest battles of the war. Around 50,000 soldiers died on each side, so it's about 100,000 soldiers in total, if you do the math. And then on July 3rd, 1863, it marked a very significant date in the Civil War because it was the final date of the Battle of Gettysburg, which marked a huge victory of the Union over the Confederacy. I found that on onthisday.com. Now, from very important events that shaped the United States, we move on to special political events and movements that shaped the history of the world. So, starting off, we have in 1939, Ernst Haenkel demonstrates the 500-mile-per-hour rocket plane to Adolf Hitler. The Haenkel HE-178 was the world's first aircraft to fly under turbojet power and the first practical jet aircraft. It was a private venture by the German Haenkel Company in accordance with director Ernst Haenkel's emphasis on developing technology for high-speed flight. And then, in 1952, Puerto Rico's constitution was approved by the U.S. So on this date, July 3rd, 1952, after final ratification of the Constitution Convention to accept the Constitution as approved by Congress, the governor of Puerto Rico proclaimed the establishment of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico under the new Constitution. Then, in 1989, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled states do not have to fund for abortions. In the 1989 case, Webster versus the Reproductive Health Services, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld constitutionality of the Missouri law regulating abortion care. The Missouri law prohibited the use of public facilities, employees, or funds to provide abortions, counseling, or services. The law also placed restrictions on physicians who provided abortions. This was a big step forward for the pro-life movement. Political events and movements have very effectively changed the future in a great way. Now we see how different events from culture have shaped the entertainment business that we all know and love today. So, early entertainment. So in 1845, pioneering French magician Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin opens the Magic Theater in Paris. So Robert Houdin was known as the Father of Magic, and his name influenced the name of a magician you know as the Great Houdini. And then you have, in 1985, the blockbuster movie called Back to the Future came out. And this was directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. It was well received, placing in the top of the box office for 11 weeks and grossing over $381 million worldwide to become the highest grossing film of 1985. This film introduced a lot of the technology that they use today in film, which really helps bring up movies that you know love today with all the graphics and different technological advances. So, without the work of Robert Houdin and his achievements in the early entertainment history, without the technological advancements in the film industry that Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg showed in Back to the Future, many of the movies that you've seen today could not have happened. So, July 3rd has always been just my birthday to me. I now realize that many great historical events have happened on my birthday. If the date July 3rd ceased to exist, the country that you live in could have a very well been non-existent without the help of Washington's army and the Union's victory over the Confederates during Civil War, because we all know that without that, maybe slavery could have still been in the U.S. today. Without July 3rd, many political events and movements, such as Puerto Rico's Constitution, could have been true, and then Puerto Rico could have been a very different, maybe horrible country. And then without the U.S. banning abortion funding, people could have been having abortions, and that would have been bad for the pro-life movement. And without the founding of the Magic Theater by Robert Houdin and Back to the Future with Robert Zemeckis. The blockbuster hit could have never happened, which a lot of movies might have never happened. Throughout all my research, I found that July 3rd is not only my birthday, but a historically, politically, and culturally important day throughout history. And now you go.